The history of Mississippi during the 1960s is filled with stories of racial animosity. It also contains stories of individuals who risked safety and security to bring about racial reconciliation. The creation of Pine Lake Fellowship Camp is one such story. In 1963, Nevin and Esther Bender came to Mississippi to help plant a church among the Choctaw Indians. That church would be bombed 3 times over the next 5 years by people determined to destroy their ministry. Each time, the church was rebuilt. The Benders saw a need for a place where all Christians, regardless of race, could safely fellowship and worship together. When a plot of ground in Meridian came up for sale, the Bender family, along with several others, bought the land and formed Pine Lake Fellowship Camp.
I remember several times Titus talking to us and saying, wouldn't you like this, buy this, wouldn't you be interested in buying this land out here? There's a lake on it. But he persuaded Em and I to help, and his father to help, and also Ann Zimmerly and her sister Millie, and we together,
and of course Titus and Ann
themselves, put together enough by borrowing money to buy, I think it was $9,200. We purchased the original property, I think was something like 72 acres, I believe.
Through the sacrifice of those people, the camp's purpose of bringing campers into a personal relationship with God and fostering racial reconciliation has been carried out for over 4 decades.
1 Peter 3:15, sanctify the Lord and your God in your heart always, and then be ready to give an answer to him who asks the reason for the hope that lies within you. There it is. They come here, somebody is going to ask why and how, and you have an opportunity to say, you know, in the Christian faith, we who follow the teachings of Menno Simons, here is some of that outworking.
The first summer camp was held in 1968. Youth rallies and family camp also soon became an annual part of the camping ministry. Choctaws, African Americans, Cajuns, whites, traditional and non-traditional Mennonites gathered together for the common purpose of worshiping God.
I always say, whatever you put in camp, if it just goes to one child and they get the knowledge of God, then it's worth it all.
By learning to know and trust one another at Pine Lake, Mennonites from 4 different conferences joined together in 1978 to form the Gulf States Mennonite Conference. Today, the conference, along with its association members, works together in the ministry of Christian camping.
One of my favorite times is the campfires in the evening out on the island. And one of the things I tried to do as a leader here is make it a very special spiritual experience. And I remember one year I made a cross out of 2 tree trunks and put it together and drilled candle holes, and we put candles in each of the holes, and the kids came down and lit their candle, and we floated that cross out in the middle of the lake to symbolize their commitment to Christ, and it was a very moving experience for everyone.
In 2001, the Lakeview Lodge was completed, transforming the camp into a year-round ministry. Conference events such as the Missions Rally, Pastor's Retreat, and Church Retreats, as well as other events like the Marriage Retreat, Father-Child Retreat, and Healing Retreat have been added to camp events. Pine Lake has been blessed with a growing ministry that has blossomed over the past 5 years. Overall camp usage has increased 70% since 2003, and a record number of campers attended summer camp in 2008, up by more than 50 campers over the past 2 years. In addition, the Leaders in Training program, which trains high school students, has become an important leadership development program for the Gulf States Mennonite Conference.
We're growing, and the lodge has 6 rooms, but I mean, as more people come, we're going to need more rooms to have people to stay if they want to stay the night, and more buildings to have summer camp in or conferences, because we have a bunch of missions rally and pastors retreat out here.
A desire to expand and enhance the ministries of Pine Lake by adding additional climate-controlled lodging, meeting, and dining areas was identified by stakeholders in our comprehensive 2005 needs assessment.
The vision has really been there for growth and to see, you know, what do we do? Do we have enough to support this? And what do we really need to do for the future? But I think it's awesome. Like, we love staying at the lodge.
Since that time, the PLFC board and association members have worked together to form a vision for the future. This vision includes large conference gatherings in climate-controlled facilities, the ability for multiple groups to use camps simultaneously, new ministries such as sports camps, music camps, and weekend spiritual seminars, larger church or church-related organizations who previously exceeded our capacity using the camp for their gatherings. To accomplish this vision calls for the creation of a new facility that will add a meeting area for groups of 200 and overnight lodging for 50 people. This will increase our current climate-controlled meeting and lodging areas from a current capacity of 32. In addition, renovations to the rustic side of camp will be made to maintain this area as a vital part of our camping ministry for years to come.
Tall Pines Fellowship Center is a real key in continuing the momentum that camp's got going. Great things have always happened at Pine Lake. The lodge just continued that, opened that up to more people, and we see this fellowship center being an extension of that.
The PLFC Association has set a goal to raise $320,000 over the next 3 years. This is an ambitious goal for our small constituency, but we are compelled by the needs that we see throughout the Gulf States region. Pine Lake Fellowship Camp is what it is today and has accomplished incredible things in the past because of the blessings of God and the incredible sacrifice of many who have been faithful to God's leading. Today, it is once again our privilege to be a part of God's ministry by joining together to build the future of Pine Lake.
Because when you come here, it's like coming to God's country. You can feel you just can feel the serenity.
The exciting part is what the future is planned, and hopefully that'll get a lot more people excited and get a lot more people up here. And I believe we'll get a lot more people up here once you have that type of facilities to accommodate the people.
The history of Pine Lake Fellowship Camp inspires me. Through the sacrifices of its founders and many who followed, this camp continues to fulfill its mission to draw all people of all ages and of diverse backgrounds into reconciliation with God, creation, and each other. People of vision, faith, and perseverance built Pine Lake Camp. They worked together with no guarantee of success, but with an unfailing faith that God would honor the work. Today, Pine Lake thrives, and that is the result of a faithful God honoring faithful followers. Our camp association has set a goal to raise $320,000 over the next 3 years. With these funds, we will renovate the rustic side of camp and build the Tall Pines Fellowship Center. You're invited to help create the future of Pine Lake Camp. We realize that a project of this size won't be easy. It will require sacrifice, but like the founders of camp, the friends and supporters of Pine Lake today are also people of vision, faith, and perseverance. We're strengthened by the example of Pine Lake's history, and we believe that God will honor our sacrifices. You can be a part of making this vision a reality. You can pray for the leadership of camp. You can volunteer. We're going to do as much of the work as our skills will allow. And you can give a financial gift. What is God challenging you to do? Others are giving already. Will you pledge $10,000 per year for the next 3 years to build this dream? Or can you pledge a total gift of $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000? Will you give a one-time gift of $1,000? Or can you pledge $10 a month over the next 3 years? Together, we will build and renovate. Together, we will shape the lives of future generations. Together, we will draw all people of all ages and of diverse backgrounds into reconciliation.